Ready? So when the girls rewatch, they know what the heck you were talking about. So the first technique is.
Okay, well, we're gonna, okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay, I'm being recorded now.
Yes, you are.
Okay, fantastic. All right, hey, first of all, thank you for coming. We're gonna go through some new techniques today. And the first one we're going to go do is something that you might not have experienced before. And this one is the Metatron cube. So today what we're going to do is experience that. And it is very simple. I'm going to show you what a Metatron cube. Are you both familiar with what a Metatron cube is?
Nope.
No.
Okay. So you're familiar with the term sacred geometry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's familiar with that. Okay, so I'm just going to show you an example of a Metatron cube here. Bear with me. Here and share. And that's not quite what I wanted to share. Stop. I'm going to new share. I come over here. And okay. Okay, so you see this. Okay, do you see this right here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a called a Metatron's cube. It's a sacred geometry. There's a big one. There's a small one. So now that you have a kind of an example of that, you can see there's a point down here that points downward. That's towards the center of the earth, and then one up here. And then there's points. You can see the points up and down, right? So all of these points there, everywhere that there's a connection, these dots are, in fact, points.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really have to know anything about it for it to be effective. So what we're going to do, now that you have a symbol there, I'm just going to have you imagine you're closing your eyes. Close your eyes, and you are going to put yourself inside one of those cubes. That's all you're going to do, and this is going to go on for about 10 minutes. Every once in a while, I'm going to give you some instruction. But the cube, Metatron cube, will do the work for you. You don't have to do anything. It's just be inside that cube. It's copper. These ones are made out of copper. And you're just going to be in the middle of it. Just stay in the middle. You can imagine you're looking around you. You can see all of the copper tubes. Notice the one that is below you. You're floating in the middle. The one below you is at a point and directed down towards the earth. The one above you is pointing right above your head. And all you need to do is just stay there. You can just notice. All you do is just kind of look around. Just stay there, and you're just kind of observing. You're not trying to do anything, you're just sitting there observing. Just keep observing as your mind wanders. Just go back. You are physically there inside the cube, the Metatron's cube, and you're just observing. Okay, and now you're still observing. And as you're observing, I want you to just think of the things that you can do to help other people. There's something, maybe it's a list of things you're like, oh, I need to help, this person and this and this and this. So any type of service to others, just kind of maybe the top three things. And now I want you to think of three of the best things of the people that you're related to. Still observe you're in the cube. Stay in the cube and observe. I want you to think of 3 adventurous things that you have that you're going to do that are in your plan. Think of 3 things you'd like to study. Stay in the cube and observe the cube. 3 light-hearted, fun things that you love doing or would want to do. As you're in the cube and as we're going through this, notice if you smell anything. You know, if you did, just make a note. Oh, I was smelling this or I was smelling that. Especially if you noticed a foul smell out of nowhere. Think of 3 different people that you disagree with and allow yourself to no longer see them as wrong, but be open to seeing their perspective. Just simply noticing their perspective without making them wrong anymore. Stay in the cube. You're physically there. Think of 3 people that you love non-romantically. It could even be a pet. It doesn't have to be a person. Or have loved in your life. Non-romantic. Stay in the cube. Notice the cube all around you. Now, think of 3 things that you would like to accomplish. 3 goals that you would like to accomplish. The 3 top ethical foundations of you. Your 3 top ethical things that you would like to raise yourself to the point where you're constantly behaving with these 3 different things that are your base. I want you to think of the 3 things that everyone was amazed about you and your creativity. Or it could be just you were kind of amazed that you had this creativity and you came up with this or that. Think of 3 times in your life that you creatively solved problems. Okay. Take a big, deep breath into your belly button and let it out. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Um, any comments, Marina?
Yeah. So at some point, the lines from the cube just went out to the entire universe,
Mm-hmm.
and then I sort of felt this flashes of light, like lightning,
Mm-hmm.
and then the cube just expanded. I mean, it's like all became light. There were points, but everything else was just like light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Could feel Kundalini moving at some point early on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And also right away, it was just a deep sense of relaxation and focus. So like I didn't have any thoughts going on. It was very easy to just be there.
Okay. Great. Great. All right. Fantastic. Okay. And Penelope, any comments?
Yep. My brain kept trying to work out the points and whether they were diamonds and how they actually fitted. And of course, I was doing what you were saying, but then everything started to become kind of like watery. The air in my mind, I don't know how to describe it, but it all felt like I was like it wasn't air, I was in water.
Okay.
And that was the only thing that I felt. But my mind kept trying to work out the whole thing. And especially when you said keep staying in it, that's all I kept going to. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. Great. Great. And all right. And for either of you, any smells when you were doing this? No, neither of you?
No.
Felt a
No.
little bit like ozone kind of
Oh, I'm
smell.
sorry, Marina, you're on mute. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Like a little bit of an ozone, you know, like after lightning kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. And Liz, Liz,
I'm here.
hi. Any comments?
For me, I've done a Metatron cube meditation in the past, and the same thing always happens. All of the lines of the cube start to spin like what do you call it? Like a cyclotron.
Yes.
You know, like being in. It's always the experience for me of being inside an atom. That's what
Okay.
it's like. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Very good. Very good. So, and then last question on this is how you feel now relative to before. If there's no change, it's okay. But as you sit here, if there's any change in between before you started and now.
No change for me. No.
No change.
No.
Okay. And Marina?
I feel happy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
always energizing for me. It's an energy,
Okay.
like you know, it's like energy moving, so it always feels like energizing.
Okay. All right. So, for some people, this can also help with other energies and moving them out of your space. For me, negative energies, sometimes, not always, but sometimes when they're particularly nasty, they have a foul odor that goes along with them. And I experienced, for whatever it's worth, I experienced that when I was in the cube. So it has the effect of moving out some negative energies. Okay, fantastic. So we're going to move to the next one. And Marina, you've already experienced this, but Penelope, you have not experienced this yet. So I'm going to explain a technique that I call the universe, and that is that if you imagine around you, every item exists. Everything has a position within your field. And this is it's kind of interesting because there's also these place cells that right now in your room, wherever you're at, you actually know the relative distance of the desk in front of you or the books beside you, or all the different things. Your mind has these things called place cells that put a location on things, and it's more than just us. Rats do this as well. They've actually tested this out with rats, and we know humans have it. So this also goes with everything in your life. It could be raw liver has a place in your field. Roses have a place in your field. Chocolate has a place in your field. Hospitals and and the smell of hospitals has a place in your field. Your favorite vacation space has a place in your field. So the discovery here with the universe technique is that we can experience different things by moving things around in our field. And all you have to do is with imagination. So we're going to start, because this particular session was around techniques that will help with, family, food, these sorts of different things, stresses, anxieties, you name it. So we're going to actually do some things, and then because you guys are both here, we're going to actually be able to do a few custom ones for you. So the first one that we're going to do is you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to first imagine your favorite food and where is your very favorite food within your field. Imagine it's almost like little cells. They're little boxes all around you. Is it close to you? Is it far away? Is it high? Is it low? Is it behind you? Where is your favorite food? So very lightheartedly, you just kind of imagine you're pointing to your favorite food. And now, imagine the thing that you would never put in your mouth. I mean, it is for you disgusting. You would never eat it in a million years. You're just not into it at all. Where is that? For me, raw liver. I just not going to put that in my mouth. No, thank you. It could be whatever it is for you, but you're just Or those, for me, that sushi with the raw egg on it, I just can't do it. That's going to make me gag. So where is that in my aura? Where is that in my energy field? Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. Is you have, let's say, for example, a food that you wish you weren't kind of drawn to and overeating and that sort of thing. Yeah, but you can't help it. You love this food and, or drink, and it's just like, oh, I have to have it, So what we're going to do is imagine where is that favorite thing, and we're going to make a decision here. I'm going to say, if you want to get rid of this, where you just have absolutely no desire for it whatsoever, you're going to take it, imagine you're grabbing it and putting it in the same physical place as the food that you did not like, that you would never put in your mouth. Just take the food and imagine you're just locking it in that exact same cell as what you didn't like. Now, if you just want to be neutral to it, I want you to pick a different food that you could care less about. You could eat it, you could not eat it, you don't care. If you want this food that you desire so much and you tend to overdo, if you just want it to be in the I don't care category, move it to the cell that you feel that way about, where, maybe it's Brussels sprouts or something. You take this food you desire and go lock it in that particular place. Very simple. Just imagine you're just locking it in. And now the question for you, Penelope, could you do that? Could you move the stuff around?
Well, for me, it was coffee, and I'm trying to. I love food, and there's no food that I don't really love. So I couldn't find one that was neutral. So I took the coffee that was right here, which I have a lot of, and just try to move it out a little bit further.
Okay.
And it went, but it came back, and I was just working on keeping it out there.
I want you to close your eyes
Mm-hmm.
and imagine that you have a lock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you're going to lock it into the, take 4 locks and lock it into that position. It's a cell out there. Lock it into that cell.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. And Marina?
Yeah, I had a baguette and brie, and I put it with a lobster, which I would never eat.
Okay.
And then I had a different kind of bread with different kind of cheese, which I put with the burger that I don't care about. I mean, I couldn't care less. So,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Okay. Great. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work on people. Okay? Now, I want you to take we're going to start with the person that you find that you may be having to meet with soon, that you find obnoxious. So I want you to close your eyes. Maybe you find them irritating or obnoxious. Go ahead.
A question. So
Yes.
how is that going to affect it? Because I'm going to meet with my director, who I'm going to give a letter of resignation tomorrow, and she is irritating me. So is that going to be okay? Because I need to have a normal conversation with her.
Okay, so we're gonna let me reverse this so that you know where I was going. I want you to think of somebody that you find amusing and funny and interesting.
Okay.
So it could be just amusing, could just be interesting, could be funny. Usually funny is good, right? Because with funny, there is no fear.
Mm-hmm.
Humor and fear don't go together. That's why they say, there's no comedy stores in the Middle East. Yeah.
So could it be somebody I don't know, like an actor or something, who is funny?
Could be. Yeah, could be. The closer it is, the better.
Anybody funny?
Okay. So I want you to think of them, somebody that you find humorous and you enjoy their company.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And close your eyes. And where is this person in your field? And now, what you're going to do is, where is the person in your field that you're going to encounter that is, they're typically challenging for you. You don't want to be around them, you just want to get away, but you're forced into a position where you're going to have to interface. So go ahead now, and you're going to move this person that is kind of obnoxious or whatever it is that's not so fun for you. You're going to move them physically in your aura to the exact same position as the person that you find humorous. And and you're going to lock it in. You've got 4 locks, lock them into that same position. Okay. And now, okay, were you able to lock them in and keep them there?
Mm-hmm.
Both of you? Okay. Fantastic. Okay, and now we're going to do somewhere that I want you to think about if there's somewhere that you don't want to go. I want you to think about, do you have something coming up that you don't want to be there? I don't want to go to that physical location, but I know I have to. So where is that within your field? Okay. You got the place in your field?
Mm.
Okay. Now, I want you to think of your favorite vacation spot. The most favorite place that you've ever been in the world, that's just it for you. Now you're going to take this place that was a problem, and you're going to move that to that same vacation spot and lock it in. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so these things, with this particular technique, what typically happens is you're there and you have, it's like, why? Because this is going to happen in the future. You're going to go to this situation that you have to, and you're probably going to forget you did this exercise, but you're going to get there and you're going to be like, gosh, this is actually not bad at all, and it probably won't hit you until after the fact that, oh my gosh, it worked. So it is, it's just an amazing technique that is, it seems like nothing, right? This seems ridiculous, like how can that work? But it actually does work. And so I'd love to hear the stories after the fact of maybe make yourself a note. I mean, actually, let's do that. You've got a piece of paper, make yourself a note of the food, of the place, and the person. Those 3 things, just so that you'll be able to, in a week or whatever it is, you go back and say, how did that go? The proof's in the pudding. Did it work or didn't it? But it's very subtle. It's and by subtle I mean just like so natural. It's like, gosh, I don't feel that way anymore. That type of thing. Sometimes, by the way, Penelope, when something's very strong, like the coffee, right?
Yeah.
Here I am. Like, you'll find that it wants to slip out, and you got to keep putting it back and locking it in. I've seen this happen, where it starts to move out and slip. You keep putting it back, locking it in. Okay. All right. There's other techniques as well, but we find that not everything works all of the time, and it doesn't work with everything. You may find that this is going to work perfectly on coffee, but but you may find another situation that just has no effect. So that's why I load you up with different techniques, because you say, oh, this one works for this. Not all clearings work every single time. I found, some things are just that work for so many things for me are in a particular circumstance are ineffective, but I shift over to a different technique. It's like, boom, done. So having a complete tool chest that you can reach into and try different things, that's what I find is most effective, is a complete tool set. If does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I know, Penelope, you experienced that, right? I think the things we did, we had to shift around a little bit.
I did find it a bit confronting. The person that I didn't really want to confront was out here, and the person that was happy, bringing that person into here for me was pretty challenging. So,
yes, a lot of people don't want to do it. You're like, he's you don't put that with that. Don't do that. That one's good. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just try it out. I do. I realize it's, I realize. Okay. Yeah, you're not the first one to experience that. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you another method of helping to process. This is something I haven't shown you before. And so the number one thing, let's just say, I want you to choose the one thing that you would like to process in out of this class. Like, let's say the way you feel about a situation, a person, yourself, or something. Doesn't matter what it is. I don't care what it is. I mean, you can say it, you cannot say it, doesn't matter. But just, do you both have that thing in mind?
So the thing about how we feel about something?
Yeah, it could be anything. It could be a fear, a stress, an anger, a resentment. It could be anything that's in the lower spectrum of feelings. Like, I wish I didn't feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? But I do. Okay? So just pick the one thing. Because we're going to do one thing at a time.
Yep.
You got one?
Yep.
Okay, Penelope's got one?
Yep.
Marina, you're looking for something.
Wait a minute, I'm still thinking. I'm just trying to figure this out. Like, I don't want to.
You mentioned you had a meeting coming up tomorrow, and
Yeah.
you had some feelings around that.
Yeah, but it's kind of small. I wanted to get something bigger.
Okay, all right.
Wait a minute, give me just a second, maybe I'll come.
All right.
Oh, I know, I got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got-
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, you got one. Okay, so this technique, I'm going to have you watch my eyes first of all. Okay, so I want you to let's say, as you're sitting here right now, put the thing on a scale of 1 to 10, whatever that is for you. Just so you have a number, so we have a gauge. Okay, ready? Okay. Now here, look at my eyes. So we're going to do the first set is going to be up and to the right. It's just going to be like this. My eyes are up and to the right. Now, when you do this, the easiest way to keep it is to look at a point on the wall. It could be up towards the ceiling, but pick a point, because if you do not pick a point, what will happen is your eyes are going to wander, and you're thinking you're looking up, but you're going to lose it. So just pick a point on the wall. So here's the way it looks. I have to back up a little bit. Okay, so you're going to pick a point up on the wall, and let's say that okay, so keep your head straight forward, and you pick a point on the wall, and then let's say you just say, we're going to customly do each one of these for you, but let's say for this example, I'm just going to say, the person, blah, blah, is doing the very best that they can. They are, blah, blah, is doing the very best that they can, and I love them. Blah, blah, is doing the very best they can, and I love them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ready? Okay, so that's what it is. So we're just going to do one session, but you're going to, I'll put you, we'll put you on mute, and you need to say it, and then you do the exercise, okay? All right. Go ahead. Oops, you're on mute. Sorry. Unmute and unmute.
Marina?
Okay, Penelope first or Marina?
So
Penelope first.
Mine's not a person. Mine's a, like a situation.
Okay. All right. So this situation. Okay, yeah. I have a situation. So, I want you to look at it from the point of view of love and trust. Right now, you have fear and doubt around it.
Yep.
And so the formulation of what you're going to say is, this situation. I trust that this situation is going to be resolved for the best good of all.
Should I tell you what it is quickly so you can?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm starting to feel a lot more comfortable socially, but what it is, like for all three lessons, all three levels that I did, the first class was great, the second class was great, and then towards the third week, I started to feel like I'm a bother, I shouldn't really be here, I don't belong here. I stepped myself out of it, but I kept going into that feeling of, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? So,
okay. So this is a class that you're set up in. You're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. So and this is a typical cycle for you that you do.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's
all
towards
right.
people. I'm very confident in what I do. I know what I'm doing, but it's people don't like me. I shouldn't talk.
Okay. All right. Everybody loves and respects me.
Okay.
Everyone loves and respects me.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
All right. And Marina.
Yeah, for me, it's I've been doing some deep body work, and a lot of sadness comes up. I just don't want to feel the sadness anymore.
Okay. All right. I would say I replace my sadness with love and joy. Okay?
Yep. So we do alternative.
Correct. So go ahead and stand up.
Okay.
And this is going to go on for about 5 minutes or so. Okay? And I'm going to time you. You don't have to do anything. So I'm going to be the one who times you. Okay?
Okay.
Bear with me here. And okay. So all right. So Penelope, people love
and respect.
love and respect me.
Yes.
Okay, and Marina, I replace my sadness with love and joy. Okay, and it's the eyes are up and to the right. Pick a point on the wall, pick the point, head straight forward, and pick the point. And you know how bad this is? You put it on a scale of 1 to 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you got a number?
Mhm.
Okay. Perfect. All right. And ready and begin.
People love and respect me.
I'm gonna mute you. Keep saying it. I can't hear you because I have you on mute, but keep saying it. Keep your eyes on the head straight forward and your eyes on the point. Okay, and stop. Okay, all right, now. Sorry, I only took you to 3 minutes because we're gonna, okay, I just I don't wanna wear you out.
Yeah.
You can also continue this after the fact
Yeah.
because we're gonna have more to do, okay? All right, so breathe. Okay. All right, now, this problem is stuck either on the right side or on the left side. So we've got just give you a quick break here, okay, and then we're going to move. We're going to do this on the other side. That was 3 minutes, okay, and we're going to do the identical for the other side. First of all, Maureen, I'll start with you first. Any comments?
It just got really, really funny at the end.
Okay. All right. Okay. There we go. I like that. And Penelope, any comments?
I'm just out of shape. That's it.
Okay. I get it. I get it. We're only going to do this. We're only going to do it for 3 minutes. Hey, I get it. You know. All right. We're going to. I'll put you on mute again. Now this time, it's the exact same thing, but you're going to be up and to the left this time. Okay. All right. Head straight forward.
Yeah.
Up and to the left. And I'm going to mute you. And all right, here we go. Mute, mute, and ready, begin. Eyes up to the left. Pick the point on the wall. Head straight forward. All right, very good. Keep your eyes on the point. You're doing great. Doing good. Eyes up and to the left. Keep the head straight forward and the eyes focused on the point. Okay. You're doing good. Doing good. Just keep focused. Keep saying it. One minute down, 2 to go. Doing good. Keep the eyes up and to the left. Keep saying it. You're over halfway. Excellent. And you're down to 1 minute. 1 minute to go. Eyes up and to the left. Keep saying it. Eyes up and to the left. All right, good. Stop. Good. All right. There we go. Stop. There we go. Okay. Fantastic. Marina.
Yeah.
Okay. So what number was it when you started and what number is it now?
It was pretty high. I'd say probably close to 10.
Okay.
I mean, the idea of it, because I didn't feel sad right at the moment, but I know when it comes up, it's very high.
Okay.
So I don't feel it now.
So it's a wave though that comes. Yes.
Right. It's not like I'm always sad. It's usually when there's some kind of deep work going on that it comes up.
Okay. All right. All right. And when you started, did you feel it?
No,
You didn't. feel it.
Yeah, it was just more of an idea that it does.
Okay. Okay. So it'll be interesting for yours is kind of in the future,
Mm-hmm.
which we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Okay.
But I do think it got unstuck because it really was very, very funny. Like in the last few, like half a minute, it was just, I could feel a shift on the right side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Okay. And okay. And Penelope.
I was an 8, and then I thought about when you asked Marina, I thought, all right, it's gone down to a 4, and then the number 2 popped in my head, and as Marina was talking, I was going, hang on, it did shift. It shifted on the right, but it shifted on the left as well. But I have a new problem. I've realised how very unfit I am.
How what?
How very unfit I am.
Oh. Well. Okay. All right. Okay. So it came down from a 8 to something.
To a 4, then to a 2.
4, then a 2. Okay. So get up and walk in a figure 8. I want you to walk in a figure 8 5 times.
Okay. I'll do it over here though. Yep.
Yep. Just imagine a figure 8 on the floor and walk in a figure 8. Okay. Take a breath. Okay. And now put it on a scale of 1 to 10.
For me, I don't even feel like it's there anymore.
Okay. Good. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Good. We just knocked that last bit out there.
Yeah.
Marina, any comment on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see, but I think it's better.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. So this is what I would call in my experience, this particular technique, the effective portion of Psyche. And so I did not develop this one, but that's that particular portion of it. I've added the figure 8, and also I'm not physically there with you, so I cannot muscle test you. So I don't know if it's in the right or the left. So this enables us to just do it remotely, and we're covering both bases, right? So that's how it's done, and it's very simple, but very effective, as you can see. Penelope, I think you probably have suffered with that one for a while, and it's affected many aspects of your life, I'm sure.
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
Pardon me. Sorry. Go ahead.
With the tuning forks, we get to work on our birth story and clear and the last 3-4 weeks have been really intense, and that was definitely one I was working on. So I knew where it started. I was born and had colic for 3 months, left to cry. My mum did her best, but really couldn't, so I felt, I always felt like I was in the way, like I talked too much.
Right. Oh, okay. All right. You had a lot of throat problems then, huh? Throat infections and stuff?
Oh, I did. And then I got rheumatic fever, which is undiagnosed infections at the age of 8 and then 11. So, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Well, this can help out with that.
And I think it really did. I really felt something happen on both sides. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Love it. Okay. The rewards of staying up late. It's probably 5 a.m. there now. Okay, now the next one that we're going to do is we're going to do something called a decoy rose. Okay, so the decoy rose is people are always, not always, but a lot of times throwing energy at you. Okay, Marina, tomorrow you've got a situation, and you've got somebody who has had authority, right? And it's like, I'll tell you how it's going to be. It's going to be my way, you know. And they throw energy into your space. And for people that are sensitive, you know, like everybody on this call, is you can feel it, right? You can actually feel it hit you. And if you can't feel it hit you, you a lot of times will take it on as your own. I don't feel so good, or and you don't know why, right? So this technique is very simple, but again, it is very effective. The only downside of it is it requires maintenance. This is a daily maintenance technique. Okay, so here's how it works. Is you imagine a rose, and let's say the rose is this big, okay? Imagine a rose, and on the outside of the rose, meaning if I was doing this, is I imagine on the outside of the rose, I'll put my license, right? So that my license is facing, all my data is facing outwards, the other person. Or I just imagine my face, a picture of my face on the outside of the rose facing the world, right? And if I know the person that's throwing the energy at me, I will make the intention of this rose is for this person, right? And what you do is you place this rose on the outside of your aura. Let's just say it's about as far as your hands reach, okay? Out there. That's where you put it. And so what happens is that as the person is throwing the energy, it gets absorbed by this rose. And tomorrow, when you look at this rose, you will notice what's it like. The first time I did this, I was like shocked. I was like, oh, that's just so full of it, you know. But what happened is, you know, the next day, I looked at the rose, and there was a huge like gunshot hole right through the rose. You know, it was like other ones were like dark and had wilted, but it was absorbing all of that energy that's coming at you. So what you do is you collect up those roses, you take them off, and you blow them up, and you put out fresh new ones out there. That makes sense? Okay, so we're going to walk through this process. Now, we'll start with just one rose. So close your eyes. And you're going to, let's say, for example, imagine somebody that, and if you don't have anybody, we can do this generically, right? It just, for anybody who's throwing energy into my space. You know, people do it all the time. You're in a grocery store parking lot and people start throwing energy. You know, I had one this morning. I go to park and the surfer is next to me and he's like, you had 5 feet in front of your car. Why'd you pull up? You know, it's like, well, you know, anyway, it's like, people throw energy at you all the time. Just here's some crap to put in your space, you know? So it's your responsibility to keep it out of your space, right? not allow it in. And there's many techniques to do this. This falls under a class of blocking techniques. There's these are what I consider lower level techniques, and there's other techniques, but it takes a raising of consciousness to make those effective. This one works well with anybody at any level of consciousness. So it's a blocking technique. That's all it is, okay? So here we go. Close your eyes. You imagine this big golden rose out in front of you. And let's just use your face, a nice smiling picture of your face right out. And this is on the outside of that rose. And you can take the stem of this rose now, and the stem of this rose is very long, and it's embedded now down into the earth. On the side of this rose, there is a on switch, like an old-fashioned kind of light switch, where you turn it up as on and down as off. You're going to just turn it on, and that way all the energy from the rose gets funneled down into the earth. As people are throwing the energy, it just kind of goes from the rose downward into the earth. Now, typically these roses, even though it's getting funneled down into the earth, you'll notice in the future that you're going to have to replace these every day. So that's the first protection rose. And you can, if you have a person that you want to identify and say, this is this for specifically this person and whatever their intentions are. Okay, now we're going to make this rose the exact same rose, but we're going to make one all the way around me, kind of like it's a wall all the way around me. With all the stems going into the earth. And your picture is on the outside of all of them. And as you sit here in the middle, just notice how it feels being here in the middle now. Okay, that's very good. All right, notice the feeling. And now I'm going to show you how this is done. Now, tomorrow morning what you do is you're going to do this with me now. Is you're going to close your eyes and imagine you're just sweep around your entire aura, collecting up all those roses into a bundle, take them off to outer space or the Pacific Ocean and just blow them up. And now we're going to create new ones. Same identical thing. Put the rose up, put your face on it, and all around you, again, stems down into the earth. Flick the on switch for all of them. Okay. Now, fantastic. That's great. Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. And Marina, any questions, comments on that?
Questions maybe, kind of, I was thinking that I need to take a picture of a rose and put it on the wall so I can see it. But I kind of saw actually a wall of roses, not just like this, but the whole thing.
Okay.
So they were a little small, so I couldn't really picture my face on each one of them, but I figured, it was going to be like a face on all sides.
Okay.
It felt calmer, felt good.
You felt a peace within?
Yes.
The inside the roses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Some people are sensitive enough to feel when they start to block the energy, then there becomes a peace inside that area that's not being affected by everyone else.
I have a question too.
Go ahead. Sorry. Yes.
Should I do that with every client when they come in? Because I find myself, especially just last week, I noticed that I get so absorbed in the story sometimes that I forget to breathe even. So I don't want to separate myself from people, but would it work to do it with every client?
It will.
Okay.
It will. Yeah. And when you are working with clients, do you start to physically feel their pain or emotionally feel their pain?
Sometimes I do, yeah. Especially if they're very, very emotional, I do, yeah.
Okay. So, all right. I'm going to deal with that in a second. But thank you. Okay. We're gonna work on that. Okay. Penelope.
First question I asked was, why roses? And obviously they've got something to do with spirit, or they must be the flower that work. But I didn't see them as the same roses in the first class we did. These ones were more buds.
Okay.
So they weren't full open roses. And I just got the sense that I needed to make them longer. There was a lot more of them surrounding me, but they were longer. So they just didn't cover my face, but they went down to my thighs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started to feel safe.
Good.
I felt protected. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So typically as your skill set grows, your tools grow. So the fact you already, deciphered, make this thing huge, right?
Yeah.
Do that. Very good.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you felt the peace. That's good.
Absolutely. Can I just say something about what Marina was just talking about, her clients?
Sure.
With the biofield tuning, I was sensing that, especially when I was doing my partner, I was absorbing everything of his. And I did the first class that we did, and that day did 2 sessions with people, and found that the grounding from your session, if I did the grounding that you did in your session, opening the earth star chakras to the center of the earth,
right,
everything, one of my neighbors just said that she felt so heavy, fantastic, but really heavy. And I knew that she grounded through me. I was able to ground her totally, and felt everything that came from her, felt it come through me straight into the earth. And it was fabulous.
Nice. Yeah, that works. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for letting me know.
Thank you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to give you another technique. I wasn't going to say this one, but we'll give you this next one. And this is extremely simple but extremely effective. So for both of you, because you work with people, and you both you can't help it when you do the work you do. especially when you elevate your level of consciousness, you'll start to take on people's energy. At least you're going to be somewhat aware of it. Most of the time, empaths are not even, they go through their entire life and really aren't aware. They just suffer. So here we go. This one is very simple. You may, I don't know if you even have any physical pain at this point or discomfort, or you have somebody that is around you and you feel kind of connected to them, but they got a problem. Just notice how you feel now. And this particular person, we're going to do the following. Just close your eyes, and I want you to notice, this is my hairstyle. This is their hairstyle. I'm this age. They are that age. I look like this. They look like that. I live at this address. They live, I think, somewhere else, wherever that is, whatever city that it might be. I drive this kind of car. They drive that kind of car. I like to eat these type of foods. They like to eat those type of foods. My name is this. Their name is that. I have this type of relationship situation. They have that type of relationship situation with whoever. I work here, they work there. Okay, all right, that was it. Okay. Do you notice any difference?
Yep.
No?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What do you notice, Marina?
I feel a lot more relaxed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and Penelope?
Yeah, that was one of the techniques we learned, a separation of energy, because I didn't know, but your grounding one is even more effective.
Okay. Okay, great. We went over that early on with you, one of our first lessons, right? Okay, good. So that one right there is very, very simple, very effective. You don't need to, you can do it very fast even when you're talking with somebody. Okay, fantastic. And let's see. Oh, okay. All right. And here is the last. Well, the last one is that I think we're running out of time. Liz, do we have scheduled for an hour and a half today? I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Liz?
no, we're actually scheduled for 2 hours. So
Okay, good. All right, then I've got some time.
You've got 27 minutes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so the next one is we're going to require a piece of paper. You have a piece of paper and a pen.
Yep.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to have you list, we're going to have you list out I'm going to have you list your 5 favorite people in the world, the people you most admire. So go ahead and just put their names down. The 5 people that you most admire.
Do they have to be alive?
They could be alive, they could be dead, doesn't matter. You could have a personal relationship with them. The closer they are, the better. But still, there are five people, living or dead, that you most respect, admire, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Okay. You got them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, this is going to take a bit more space. So one by one, take one at a time, and I want you to, the first one, and put down a minimum of 5 things that you most admire about them. The qualities that you most admire about them. You can put down as many as you like, but there's a minimum of 5 for each and every person. And I'll put you on mute here, and I'll let you do that. When you get done, just raise your hand. Take your time. Oh, okay. Marina, I saw you raise your hand. Penelope, you're still working?
No, I finished ages
Okay.
ago. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Oh, okay. Okay. So, all right. So we have 5 people that you most admire, and then we have 5 things each, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. So, all of these things are you. I want you to read down your list and think about the truth of this is hard to accept. The first thing is it's very hard for you to accept. I get it that how could this, that's not me. No, I'm not that. But the truth is you are. And I want you to go down the list one by one and accept those parts of you that this is true about. All of those things down there, if you look at them, you've done, or it's your energy, it's the way you are, and accept that that is you. Is it hard to do?
yes. But
Well,
yeah.
yeah, it's emotional. I can see that, but it's kind of like wow.
But it's true, yes? I
Yep.
mean, admit it,
Yeah.
right? Every
Why
one of
not?
those things
Yeah.
about you
Yeah.
is true, yes?
Yeah.
It's humbling almost, yes?
Yes, exactly.
It's humbling. It's humbling that you, the truth of you, is that yes, you are that level. You are those things. It's almost, and the reason that I'm not having you say them out loud is because sometimes it just can be too much, especially saying it to other people and that sort of thing. Mine, I went through the exact same thing. I'm like, no, that's not. I could only hope to touch the hem of their gown, touch the little piece of their coat, right? But the truth is that you are those things, and it's hard. It's hard to accept, but in accepting it, accepting the truth of it, because it is true, it will expand it. What you focus on expands, and it allows it to, accepting it allows it to grow in you. My list, I was like, I'll read you my list because as I say, I was like, I'm not hardly fit to touch the little the coattail of them, But they're it's like, but when you accept it, you will start to own the greatness of you, and you are. Uh, I always joke, about stuff. I self-deprecating, humor is one of my things. But the people that I had, uh, um, let's see here, good looking, good, uh, uh, good creator of events and customs, kind, thoughtful, selfless, good fashion sense, adventurous, forgiving, funny, fearless, focused, dedicated, persuasive, intuitive, kind, thoughtful, sincere, creative, fun, intuitive, wisdom, creative, powerful, enlightened, smart, intuitive. But before I did this exercise, I certainly would, not look at myself in that light, But just as much as these people that we resent and they have a lesson for us, these people that we admire, we wouldn't be able to see it in them if it wasn't an aspect of us. Accepting this about you is expanding into your true greatness. So you can share if you want. It takes a pair of balls.
I don't mind. I mean, do you want the people or the qualities?
Well, yeah, the qualities is really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of them are similar in all these people, but most of them have great sense of humor. They're intelligent. They highly spiritually developed, kind, great teachers, loving. Funny to, yeah. A lot of it is, let's see, creativity, but yeah, they pretty much all of them have the same qualities.
I can see them in you. I see those. Those are all clearly obvious to me. And it's good now that you're looking at it, seeing it. But it's all true. I see it.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, Penelope, you're not on the spot. You did,
Yeah.
but if you wanted to share, you can.
Yeah, I just find it's making me giggle, and I feel excited. Like, it's still a little bit hard to kind of go, sure, yeah, absolutely, that they're my qualities. But it makes me more excited than anything else. So it's possibly believable. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Can you see those aspects? If you look at each aspect, here's what you have to do. What you have to do is look at each aspect and look for how when has that been true for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you see it from that perspective?
Some not yet. Like, some of them are, this person's ability to discover a process and to bring it into the world, and then to share it and develop it. And I haven't done that yet, so no, I can't see it in myself. But the possibility is a possibility, and it's exciting. So
you're but here you are in this workshop, which is, you found your way to the advanced program.
Yeah.
You found your way also to the tuning forks.
Yeah.
You found your way there. You are in the process of amassing significantly advanced techniques, and you're assimilating them right now. You're bringing them together, and when you start to bring them together, the connections are going to be made. It's no different for me. I just studied a lot of different things, and you're grabbing from different places, and you're amassing it. You'll make connections once you've amassed the data. It'll be like, oh, well, this and this, and you're connecting dots. I imagine actually that you're connecting dots, and you already, but you discount it. Like, for example, you were sitting there doing the tuning forks. You knew about grounding the earth, right?
Yeah.
I haven't combined tuning forks and grounding the earth and how significant that is, but you did, right? So we tend to, in both cases, we discount. And when I say both cases, I mean the our negative karmic debts. When I started teaching, I was like, the thing that you see that irritates you and about another, then what happens is the three words is, have I ever? Have I ever done something like that? And the first reaction is always, oh, not me. No. That guy is an A class, blah, blah, right? No, you don't understand how bad that one is. Well, the truth is, I did it, right? And the same goes for everybody. So we discount it on both sides, right? I've never done anything that great or that horrible, right? But it's what appears to be a mountain to us is a grain of sand. So when I did it, it was a grain of sand. When they did it, it was a mountain on both sides. So accept it. Accepting it on both sides will help you grow. You will stop doing the situation on the other side and accepting your greatness. You are those things. You're already doing them. You just even admitted one. You're like, oh, no, it's minor. No, I just grounded. Oh, no, it's a big deal.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Thanks.
Teach other people that when you do it. And then you'll see other people getting the benefit. Anyway.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill. Thanks.
No, thank you. Liz.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Actually, so I had to get up during the middle of this one and run to the restroom, so I only had time to do one, but I was considering it while I went. And so I went for people that I admire in their presentation ability, presentation skill, And so it's kind of interesting because I can't see myself from the outside. I can't experience myself as a presenter. But when you were talking about it, I do realize that that's what I'm always channeling in a way, the things that I wrote down that I admire in certain presentation styles. That's what I'm always at least trying to project. So channeling it in a way,
All right. Okay. Do you want to share those or yeah?
Well, yeah. I mean, so the one that I really got to write down was that I was thinking of a specific person that's not. She's always really easy, and not serious, not so serious. And I tend to get more serious when I'm presenting. So she's always willing to be really open about herself and tell stories on herself, which I love. She's very, she has a big presence, which is strong and deep, even though she has this real lightness about her. So those two were kind of combined, this powerful presence with a lightness, but she's also strong and really deep. And so that's the one I wrote down. And so those are things I really admire in the way that she presents herself.
And you can't see this about yourself. Well, I'm not. Hey, pot. This is a kettle. You're black. I see you. Okay. It's clearly obvious. It's clearly obvious to everybody else but you. So, the accepting of these things, right? what you focus on expands, right? So accept this about yourself, and and the better that we feel, and the more confident we feel, the better we treat others. So it's bigger than just you in the acceptance of all these wonderful aspects of you.
Actually, Bill, can I say something about that? It just kind of coalesced in my head, is that lots of times when we do admire about something else, it is sort of outside ourselves, right? We're looking at it from a distance. And what I love about this process is it sort of, well, definitely integrates it, to ourselves. It's no longer separate. And so I really appreciate that coalescing of those things. And it's a good reminder that when we admire something outside ourselves, we can pull it in.
Mm-hmm.
It's already in.
Oh yeah.
it's already just awareness of it. That's all. That's all it is. Well, I'm very happy and it's about that, and honored to be, obviously, part of this with you. Okay. What I'll do here is I'll open it up to, because we just have two of you here. You tell me with our last minutes here. I have another technique, but if you tell me if there's something you specifically would like help with, or something, I'll see what I have, if I have anything to help. And then if not, if you don't have anything, we'll move to the last thing. So go, Penelope, do you have anything that you would like?
The only thing I can think of, or that comes to mind, is having more presence. I know that comes with grounding, but where do I start with having more presence? You're asking? Good. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, and Marina?
For me, it's figuring out how to start attracting things in, like Liz and I working on creating some new ways of working with people. So I'd like to get clients who can pay, so how do I attract things in?
Okay, so this technique is going to be, again, it's another shocking technique that when you see it working, it's kind of like I can't even believe it that it happened. So the first thing is that this piece of paper with those 5 things, those 5 people and those 5 things each. This is not a throwaway piece of paper. Keep this piece of paper, and I don't know where you're going to put it, but if you put it up towards in your bathroom near your mirror, or on your desk or somewhere, pin it up. Just pin it up so you can see it and review it every day. Okay? And here's why. Is the world treats me relative to how I feel about me. So right now, if you look at, let's say, just close your eyes and look how you felt about you for the past whatever, how many ever years, you have a feeling about you for the past 25 years or whatever. And now look at how everyone has treated you over the past 25 years. Just relax. This is how I felt about me, and this is how I got treated. Okay. All right. So, Marina, do you see the correlation? Do you see a correlation in between how you felt about you and how you got treated?
By some people, yeah.
Okay. All right. And Penelope?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, how do we change this? Right? See that list?
Yeah.
Because it's true. It's I got a potty mouth too, by the way. It's true. So review that every day. It's true. And as you start to absorb the truth of this and you feel different about you, you attract something else. So we've already done the self-love too. You already know that, so I won't review it. But the feeling of love for you and also this other, right? Which is the reviewing that piece of paper. Mm-hmm. So, and then the last thing, I'm going to teach you another technique. And the other technique here is you know how you have a hard time telling the difference in between how somebody else feels and how you feel? Like they come in with a pain or they're telling their story and they feel like crap and then you feel like crap, right? So people have a hard time differentiating. And because they have a hard time differentiating, you can utilize this to your advantage. It's to their advantage as well. Anytime we have positive, loving thoughts, it's to everyone's advantage. So you already know the technique of the rose and your decoy, right? All right. So now what you're going to do is you're going to, let's say, I want you to come up with, let's just do 3. I want 3 things that you would like people to feel about you. This is, like Penelope is so great. I love Penelope. Penelope is wise. Whatever it is. So you imagine that you have a sign, okay? And it says, I think Penelope's great, or Penelope is great, right?
Yeah.
All right, or Marina can help me, and I want to hire Marina. I want, Marina to teach me. I want Marina to help me overcome this issue. Okay? And I will pay Marina. Okay? You want to include those things, right? A lot of people start coming up to you and start, like, hey, help me, and like a freebie, So I want you to think about 3 things, or we could just start with whatever you can think of now. Maybe it's only one. And I want you to make a sign. And you say this on the sign is, I am, they are. So it is, however they're going to interpret it, meaning it's I think it, or they are this way, as if I'm talking about, well, Penelope is kind, right? So I'm talking about I am kind. So you can say it in both ways, as if it's you and as if it's them, okay? Because they can't, even hardly decipher. So go ahead and make a couple of things that are going to be your number one things that you would love for other people to feel about you.
Hey, Bill, I'm keeping the notes for this. So the sign is in first person and second person?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's 3 things?
Yes. 3 things. But if they can't do 3, then they don't have to. Just do 3 things. Okay. You guys, whenever you're done, you let me know.
Okay.
Yep.
Close your eyes. Okay, and now these 3 signs, you're going to hang them all on those roses that are around you. You've got 3 signs, and you put them all up on those roses. They can see them. Their subconscious can see these signs. That's it. You just hang up the signs, make sure they're up there on all the roses. And that's that. So let me go ahead and open your eyes, and let me tell you about a couple of stories on this. You think that what you're creating is not real, but the fact is that it is real. And I'm going to give you an example. There was a friend of mine who also teaches, and she decided in her foyer, that was when they were having a Christmas party, but she was going to put a huge golden rose in the foyer and ground that rose down so that when people came in, all the energy would, anything coming in would get absorbed by the rose. So a 2-year-old comes to the Christmas party with them, right? And the parents walk in the door, and the 2-year-old walks in the door, and the 2-year-old's like this. Wow! Look at that! Whoa! Yeah, what's the rose? oh. And the parents are like, huh, what? And anyway, she's just laughing. It's just like, how great is that? You lose the ability to consciously see when you gain the ability to read around 6 years old or so, but your subconscious still picks up on it. So that's why these signs are really powerful. Before you go into a business meeting or something, you put the signs up, or you're going into an interview or whatever, you put the signs up, and it's amazing how it's like, they're treating you differently because they see something. Okay, so it's that simple. Okay, that's the technique. It's very simple. It works.
Can I just tell you a funny story about that? So I used to work with the military, and we were in a meeting with, I don't know, like 20 maybe soldiers, and they're all in a really nasty mood and stiff and tight. And I just sat there, I thought, I'm going to imagine them. What would these guys like to do? They want to go on vacation and fish or something like that. And so I imagine them just fishing. And within a few minutes, they started fidgeting and talking to each other, and the mood changed completely, and the meeting got completely out of hand.
Yeah. It's very simple how that, how it works. And if you do it without being attached to an outcome, that is where it becomes extraordinarily effective and fast. So,
that's a brilliant story. I love that idea.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, any other questions, comments, anything that I can help with?
It's all good.
Yeah. All right. Penelope, anything?
No, I just want more classes. Hurry up.
All right.
Do some on, consciousness development, moving up the scale.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So each one of these classes, you may not be aware of it yet, but each one of these classes, I am moving you up the scale. The self-acceptance and the seeing the truth of who you are, that you are great, that you are wonderful, that you are creative and kind and highly spiritually developed already. That seeing those things raises your level of consciousness.
Yeah.
So we can continue to obviously we'll continue to do that as long as you're willing to listen. I'm willing to talk and to try to help elevate.
Mm-hmm.
So, absolutely. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I did an interview on BioWell. I don't know if you guys saw that. Rita, you guys both saw that one?
Yep.
Okay. That one's been terrific. And on cognitive movement, cognitive movement is, continues. This continues to do amazing things. I would encourage you to share it with everybody you can. Marina, actually, you had some amazing results, I think. What you wrote, what could you share with what happened?
Well, I told one about the wine that I did it with a colleague of mine. She didn't want to drink white wine specifically because that was the thing that she did every evening.
Uh-huh.
So that was 2 weeks ago. She has not had white wine yet and doesn't have any desire. Then another colleague, chocolate. I mean, she would eat chocolate every day. Didn't matter white, dark, whatever. She ate a lot of chocolate. She said she literally had like bags of chocolate kisses at home. And we went from 10 to 6. We didn't have any more time. Well, that was, I would say, almost 2 months ago. She has chocolate maybe once a week. She
Oh, okay.
trick-or-treating with her child, and she said normally she'd be like eating out of her bag. And I asked her a couple of days ago, she still has not had any of her kids' chocolate.
Wonderful.
So, and then there was another one, the client started picking on her arm, and she was doing that for about a month. We did 15 minutes. 3 weeks later, she came and said that she's not doing it anymore. So pretty amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. That is awesome. Thank you for doing those things and helping those people. That is awesome. I love that.
Hey, Bill, that's actually interesting what she said about only getting down to 6. So a person who enjoys something overindulges but doesn't want to lose the desire for it completely. I mean, does that seem like the thing to do, is just bring it down to a lower number but not eliminate it entirely?
That's a good question. I haven't thought about it in that way, but I think, you know what, you're kind of onto something there. There was a woman who, when you go all the way with it, what typically happens is not only the desire is gone, but also the taste of it is no longer like, it's like, well, it's not that good. What they do to this, right?
I had that experience with ice cream. Last time I had it, which has been 3 months since I did the technique, and I had it 4 times, I think. Last time I'm eating, it's like, I don't understand. It's too cold. It's too sweet. What did I ever like about it? I don't like it.
Yeah. It's just your taste. You recognize something else in your taste.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was another one too. I had a guy who was angry at somebody and liked being angry, so he didn't even want to do the technique, but I kind of talked him into it. And we did it for just like 6 minutes, and the anger went completely down.
Wow,
Right.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
So, Bill, the reason I asked is years and years and years ago in an NLP training, there was a guy who asked for to eliminate a desire for food that turned out he had a lot of emotional connection to. It was carrot cake that a grandmother or someone made during holiday time. So the direction was, make sure that you want rid of this thing. And so he just did it anyway. He came back about 2 days later crying because he could not access the emotion that came with that food in association to the family member. So they were able to reinstall, but it didn't come back. I mean, the guy reported later that it never came back fully. So it's a curious thing, he may have wanted to not overeat it during the holiday time, but he actually really didn't want rid of it entirely. And kind of sounds like Marina's friend, like she enjoys the chocolate, and bringing it down to a 6 might have been the ticket. She
Right.
can have it sometime, but not all the time, not overindulging. So it's a curious idea.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea to play with, where do we want to go with this? Right? And that's the question. Where do I want to go with it?
But do you have control as to what number you bring it down to? Or
it typically it'll like drop. So you'll go, when you do this, let's say it's a 10, and it could be anything. And then it'll go, to 7, 6, 5, and it just keeps going lower and lower. It doesn't happen like, boom, light switch. It goes over a period of time. And that period of time typically is 15 minutes. But, I've had people in, 5 minutes or 4 minutes, and then other ones go an hour, So you can stop when you want. But what I noticed about it is that most often it's stuck in more than one chakra. I have thoughts and I have feelings. And the feelings are in the chakras and the thoughts are in the brain, and one is stimulating the other. And so as I clear one, right, I'll clear one on this chakra and the issue, and then it'll move up to a different chakra, and it's stuck there until it moves out. So the things are dynamic, and they're tied in. They're tied in with multiple things. I mean, I guess I'm probably maybe unusual in that I want it all gone. So a lot of people are not like me, but yeah, I want to, move stuff out completely. When we do, for example, there was a woman I worked with who had other issues. We weren't even working on weight, but we were, and her eating, but we worked on other acceptance type and blame stuff. And when we cleared that out, the eating stuff went away, so, and it was stuck in multiple chakras. So when you clear one thing, a lot of times you get bonuses that you're not even thinking of.
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Yeah.
What is the significance of the figure 8 at the end?
The significance of that is that every time you shift positions, meaning a U-turn to the left, U-turn to the right, then, and that's what a figure 8 forces you to do, is it forces data between left brain, right brain hemisphere. So you were moving the last bit of data. You had a little bit more data to move, and so shifting techniques and moving will typically, I find, Penelope, I think you were at a 2, and then we just did the figure 8, and then boom, the rest of it's gone. So it's just that last, I'm going to call it a cleanup, clean up the last little bit.
Okay.
That's what I utilize it for.
Mm-hmm. Another question, I've had people come up with as far as cravings, and I said, well, what do you want to work on? Sugar, like all sugar. Well, I mean, you can't do all sugar, at some point you're going to have a I don't know, cookie or an apple or something. So how would you approach that?
So here's what I would do is I don't try to do all sugar. What I do is think of your favorite items, whatever. And I just work on their favorite items. And then the rest of it, falls away appropriately.
Yeah.
It's not everything.
Right.
I find that it becomes too much when people try to focus on too many issues at one time. So I try to get them narrowed down to just focus on one thing. Just one thing.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. I have another question that is not related to anything. But I'm curious about the 6th chakra.
Okay.
So what kind of problems are appropriate to work on with the triangle? The golden triangle?
So those, yes. So Penelope, have we done that triangle with you?
Oh, I don't remember. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that's we've done it in other classes, but basically, this technique is a derivative of a technique that I learned from Swami Rama, and in that I started there, and then I was able to progress with it. But what you do is you imagine a triangle on your forehead. And the discovery is that your 6th chakra has the natural ability to process the events of life. And you just need to know how to do it. You don't have to do squat. It will do it for you. So you basically have a triangle on your forehead, and you keep the issue in the triangle. And that's it. You put your timer on for, let's just say you put the timer on for 45 minutes. And if you go on YouTube and you get like a 45-minute timer with a 1-minute beep or a 30-second beep. So every 30 seconds it'll beep, 30-second beep, and it'll end at 45 minutes. And the beeping is keep the issue back in the triangle on the forehead. So that's what the technique is.
Yeah.
It is extremely powerful. When you do this, I mean, we did a seminar up in Oregon where I did this, and people had issues. I think we put them up on the board, and they were literally 45-year issue, 60-year issue, 50-year issue, and they were all high numbers, and they all went to zero. It was pretty amazing because there was, I don't know, maybe 12, 15 people there, and to see how many years they had it and have it go away, it was phenomenal. So anyway, that's what it does. And so Marina, the question that Marina asked was, what's that, what can we utilize with that? What's appropriate for that? And I find what's appropriate is your looping thought, right? That I can't help how I feel. This is how I feel. And you're not trying to heal it, make it better, anything. You're merely just put it on your forehead and let the sixth chakra do its job. That's it. Marina, I would just say any looping thought of any kind that you don't have an answer for, right? I feel how I feel, and that's it. So feel that way and put it right there on your forehead inside the triangle.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I've tried, what do I think it doesn't work on? So far, I have not figured out how it can help with manifesting. I thought maybe this technique would would be good for manifesting, but I have not found it good yet. There may be something that I've yet to learn, and if I do, I'll share it. But I haven't found it. I haven't found success there. But I have found that it works spectacularly well with the processing the events of life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about health issues?
So what I found is, yes, that people put the health issue in there, and what I find is that they no longer feel that way about it. I have not followed up and said, okay, has the issue gone away, right? Mm-hmm. I don't have any good data, so I can't even comment on that. But I will say that it becomes in perspective for them. It's no longer like overwhelming. It's like, yeah, there's this thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Bill, is that part of the accreditation? Because at the end of, I think it's the day 3 of the accreditation where it's on the chakras. So is that part of that, or is this does that belong to a whole other class that you do?
No, it's part of the, part of that last day. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the quicker you get it online.
And what we're going to do, we're going to do it online. Yeah, because it's just, Liz, we're going to be putting that together and doing it online, but we'll do it in little segments at a time.
Actually, it would be good to get a little bit of feedback since we have the 2 people here. We were kind of discussing beginning sometime at the end of January, weren't we, Bill? Wasn't it the last thing we talked about? for a 6-week period.
Yeah.
We were kind of talking about, so just, for some feedback from you two guys, would that be an appropriate time frame? Beginning at the end of January. So it would go the end of January, probably like the last week of January through beginning of March. So January, 4 weeks. So if it's 6 weeks long, it would be beginning of March.
The timing is fine for me. I'm just wondering how much of it is going to be a repeat of what we already did in San Diego. And could I do a part of it, like something that we haven't done?
Yeah. Yes, probably a lot of it will be repeat from your San Diego trip, but there'll be portions of it that will be new. For you, because you've already been through the San Diego thing, what we're going to do is just one day. So there'll just be part of it that will be appropriate for you. And for the people who've already been through the San Diego course, we'll do something for just that portion.
Okay.
So you don't have to repeat everything.
The thing I'm thinking of, Marina, though, is that because Bill has had so many developments since San Diego, that what if he's doing like a segment on weight loss and then a segment on depression and then a segment on for kids, there might be more in there. So, maybe Bill, if we know for sure there's going to be a lot of repeats in one segment, we could have a way for them to audit pieces. So we'll have to talk about that. But my sense is there's going to be a whole lot in each segment that might be new.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see.
Yep. Okay.
Good. All righty.
Good.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other things?
No.
No? Okay.
All day.
Be sure to put your roses, collect up your roses, blow them up and put them back out again tomorrow morning, okay? All right. Hey, thank you so much for joining me today. That was really, really a pleasure to have you. And I like that it was so small because we could really, we could work a lot more on specific things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful work today, everyone, including Bill. And
All right.
ladies, don't forget to send us your feedback and let us know how things worked out. It's helpful to have all that data to put into Bill's dossier.
Yeah, you know what? Let me know how things go this week. Let me know if there's any changes that in the coming hours and this week. See what happens. Okay. Thank you all.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Elizabeth?
Yes.
Sorry. Could I just ask you, the last class that we did, the one on contact?
Yeah, clear communication, yeah.
Yeah, I probably did, but I don't think I received the replay on that.
Okay. You want me to resend it?
Yeah, if you could, I'd really appreciate that, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Well, I have to tell you, they go in a group. So I send them to everybody who attended. So it's likely in the future, so I'll be sending this one out again. It may go into your spam files too. So if you feel like you don't get something, check your spam files, but you can always reach out to me and I'll resend. So I'll resend it in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, next couple of days. No rush, but thank you for that. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Okay, talk soon.
All right.
Bye, Penelope.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.